Boys and girls, good morning. Today is December 13th, 2015. I welcome you back to 12th grade social studies. As you all know, we've been talking about World War II the past couple days. It was a horrific war, probably the worst war this world has ever seen. Millions and millions killed, atrocities committed, many countries involved. I decided today to spice it up a little bit, make it a little fun. As you all know, I grew up a history buff, but World War II was probably the biggest war that I studied, read about, was interested in, was a history buff about. But not only did I grow up as a history buff, I grew up as a music lover. You all know I'm a keyboard player. I love rock and roll, I love jazz, I love symphonic music, classical. But growing up as a young kid, like most kids, I was into rock and roll. I was a huge fan of the British band Pink Floyd. Some of you have heard of Pink Floyd. They came about out of London, England, out of the mid-60s, probably broke up around the early 80s, released numerous albums. Their iconic album, they had a few of them, but probably their most popular album and the most iconic album they produced was The Wall. Has anyone ever heard of The Wall? I'm sure you have. 1979. This was a concept album, a double album, which was a concept album. Does anyone know what a concept album is? Well, a concept album tells a story. We still have them today. Some bands do produce concept albums, but not that many. The members of the band were Roger Waters, who was the lead singer and bass player. David Gilmour was the next lead singer and lead guitarist. Nick Mason on drums, Richard Wright on keyboards. This album contains a lot of work that was written by Roger Waters. Waters and Gilmour wrote most of the material. Before I continue, I'm trying to let you know that music, what's great about music, yeah, it sounds great, it's great to get into, but it's great to play too. But music is used as a sign of the times. It's used as a reflection of the times, where people can take their problems, their frustrations, their sadness, their happiness, any type of feeling, and put it down into notes and write a song to tell everyone, the world, everyone around them, how they're feeling. And that's what Roger Waters did. He grew up with a father that was sent off to fight in World War II for the British Army, and he was killed. So Waters grew up without a father, a strict mother. He also grew up in a society where the teachers in school took away their individualism, mocked them, belittled them, and he was angry at, his teachers in school for that. So needless to say, Waters grew up pretty unhappy, angry and sad that his dad died in World War II, had no father, and his teachers were no help. So as he got older, bounced around band to band, finally getting into Pink Floyd, and he was able to really put his thoughts down in his music and produce it. And he made gajillions amounts of money as a result. But regardless, he was able to write music about his own personal life, thoughts, frustration, sadness, and as a result, a reflection of a sign of the times. So in short, music can be a sign of the times, can be a reflection of the times. And that takes us to move through this lesson now, where, as you can see, there's an easel behind me. There are 8 statements on the easel that relate to 2 songs that I'm going to play for you off the album The Wall today. Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1, and The Happiest Days of Our Lives. Roger Waters wrote both of these songs. They do reflect his life big time. I think you'll enjoy them. Some of you have already maybe heard these songs before. I'm looking for 3 critical levels of thinking for you with this easel. Now, you can look at the 8 statements behind me now. After I play the songs, I'm going to pass out a worksheet that has what we call a reading for meaning strategy type setup on the printout, where these statements will be on that printout, but you'll be able to agree or disagree with any of these. And also on the left and right columns will be columns labeled proof for and proof against, where you can put in there your comments of your proof for why you're saying agree or disagree to one of these statements, or your proof against why you're saying agree or disagree to those statements. That printout is coming soon. So the 3 critical levels of thinking I'm going to be looking for. I'm looking for analyzation from you. I'm also looking for literal or knowledge, your knowledge on what you've heard and read, and also your interpretation, your understanding of what you've heard today, what you've read today. What do I mean by heard and read? Well, I have YouTube clips that on my laptop here that I'm going to, of the songs, Another Brick in the Wall Part 1 and The Happiest Days of Our Lives. I'm going to play them separately for you. They are in the beginning of the wall. Again, this is a double live concept album. As I told you, this album, a concept album, tells a story. This was a double live album. Yeah, there are some concept albums that are produced nowadays by some stars, but not as many. This was one of the biggest rock, heavy metal, pop, rock opera concept albums ever produced. These 2 songs are at the beginning of the first album, the first record, and it's only about 5 minutes, so I think you'll enjoy them. I think you'll enjoy these songs, and you'll be able to really sink your teeth into these tunes and hear where Roger Waters and the band is coming from. Total reflection, total sign of the times of Roger Waters growing up, and also the losing of his father. Trust me, you'll like it. You will then, after the songs are played, I will look for you to use your in-class laptops. Well, even before that, I will look for you to I will pass out the reading for meaning organizer, this easel statements, and then you could start completing what I discussed. You can agree, disagree to these statements, proof for, proof against. I will probably go around the room real quick afterwards and brainstorm just to determine the degree of how much agrees and disagrees we have amongst you. I will ask you to elaborate a little bit on your answers. Then, as I'm getting a little confused in my notes here, I apologize. You will use your in-class laptops, you will go on the internet, and you will find and print out the lyrics to both songs. Once that is done, I will probably read 2 opposing statements related to today's lesson. I will look for how many students agree or disagree with those statements by the raising of hands. After all this reading and questioning is complete, I may look for you to. I'll be looking to assess a little bit more learning from you. You'll get with a fellow student to discuss your findings and answers to the easel statements behind me. Try to come to agreement whether the song lyrics that you print out off the internet support or supports or doesn't support these statements. I'll probably look for a little more collaboration after that. Have you jot down a few important words. I may walk around the class and look at these words. I'm trying to assess that you understand today's lesson. So, in moving right along here, the last part of today's lesson, I'll look to extend the learning of this lesson by assigning you a question. I'll send out a printout to you. I'll pass out a printout to you. That's basically explained in a small essay of 2 paragraphs, 1 paragraph per song. Remember, we're listening to 2 songs today. Your understanding of these songs played and their lyrics. I'm looking for your understanding. So you'll write a small paragraph. Again, this will be on the printout, on your understanding of the song and lyrics, Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, and you'll do the same for the next song, The Happiest Days of Our Lives. But for now, I'm so excited to play these songs for you. I have them right here on my laptop, YouTube, with no further delay at this point. And again, I will explain as the lesson goes through what I'm passing out to you, what I expect of you. Oh, by the way, I need this in class, these 2 paragraphs, these small essays, the last assignment, I need from you by the end of class. Put it in my bin here on my desk. They will be graded 10 points per paragraph. So each song that you analyze and write about, 10 points, 10 points, potential 20 points. I'm looking for class participation today. So I will give out 5 points for everyone who participates. There's 25 points. And if I get the assignment by the end of today, before you leave, I will give out 1 point to each student for on-time work. So the assignment at the end of today, the class participation, you have a chance to earn 26 points as an in-class assignment for today. So without any further delay, I now present to you 2 songs for you to listen to off the 1979 concept double album from Pink Floyd, The Wall. I now present to you Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1. And then I will remind you that you will then listen to The Happiest Days of Our Lives. Music is a sign or reflection of the time. Or I should say music is a sign or reflection of the times. Enjoy Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1.